Good evening.
You shouldn't be allowed to not tell other people that you didn't answer that fucking phone call. You dirty criminal. How fucking dare you?
Yeah. Shouldn't have anything to hide.
You hit the snooze button today, didn't you? Are you wearing old socks? Are your socks dirty?
God damn it.
What about that hoodie? When was the last time you washed that fucking hoodie? I thought you didn't have anything to hide, Steve. What's up?
Stop.
What are you eating, soup?
Nothing. Eating soup? What?
I don't know. It looked like you had a spoon in your hand or something.
No. No spoon. No soup, unfortunately. I kind of wish I had some soup.
You
Now
don't
that you
have soup?
mention it, though.
Soup.
I don't think I have any soup. Weird, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I just read your comments. I didn't see them before.
Okay. Have you read the articles? Have you read the first one?
I didn't get to the article yet.
Okay.
I just was looking at the comments, and I was like, let's just call Mike.
It's all good. I'll give you I'll give you the
walk me
background.
through it real
Fuck
quick,
it.
and then we can start for real.
Oh no, I mean I can kind of just lead it. It's up to you.
Well, do you want me to know anything?
I mean, you might have better insight, so probably.
Okay.
First headline: Give NSA unlimited access to digital media, says federal judge. Much of what passes for the name of privacy is really just trying to conceal the disreputable parts of your conduct, District Judge Richard Posner added. Paradoxically, though, for Posner, the same Posner who said that privacy is just for people trying to hide bad shit, says wealth maximization means that businesses should be afforded greater levels of privacy because placing businesses under the public spotlight harms economic growth. So basically, the same fucking dude says people only want privacy to hide bad shit, and businesses need privacy because it's good for business.
Okay, so you're saying that a business being granted privacy,
right? Because it's good for the maximization of wealth and business goods,
is just as good as calling a business a person, because how can...
Well, no, I'm just saying it doesn't make any sense. I'm just saying it doesn't make any fucking sense. Well, because the first thing says, much of what Judge Posner says, much of what passes for the name of privacy is really just trying to conceal the disreputable parts of your conduct. Privacy is mainly about trying to improve your social and business opportunities by concealing the sorts of bad activities that would cause other people not to want to deal with you.
So, killing competition in the marketplace.
I have no idea.
Because you're not innovative.
What do you mean?
Protecting company secrets.
No. Well, that first one, that's what he did. That thing's about people.
Ingredient in your fucking tomato sauce?
Well, yeah, that's the paradox, is that he also, in this other article, says, wealth maximization means that businesses should be afforded greater levels of privacy because placing businesses under the public spotlight harms economic growth. It just makes no sense.
No, that doesn't make any sense. Let me hear it.
So in response to that article, I would like to present to you a day in the life of Judge Richard. Beep, 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 beep. Weighing the instant gratification of a few minutes of rest against heading to work early to research today's big case a bit further, Richard hits the snooze button. In 3 years, that alarm clock might tweet this decision, he thinks to himself as he springs out of bed gleefully. because he's got nothing to hide. He doesn't really need the alarm clock, though. The sun tends to illuminate his room right on time, no need for blinds or shutters, because he's got nothing to hide. He takes a quick shower, clear curtains of course, it's just for the water, dries himself off, brushes his teeth, and heads out the door, naked as the day he was born, because he's got nothing to hide. On the way out, he leaves his door unlocked, of course, because he's got nothing to hide. Shortly after Richard arrives at the bus stop, a stranger sparks up a conversation. "What's that tattoo on your back?" "Why, it's my social security number, of course," he replies, "because I've got nothing to hide." It's a short walk from the bus to the courthouse. Strolling through the unlocked doors past the guardless entrance, Judge Richard sits down on his passwordless computer and begins his day. A little tired and searching for motivation before the first case of the day, he begins his favorite album, 98 Degrees and Rising, by 98 Degrees. He plays the album through his speakers, of course, because he has got nothing to hide. Throughout the day, the hallway intercom plays all audible conversations in the building, transcribing and streaming every word to the internet with hashtag public servant. Hours later after lunch, Richard makes the announcement that nature has called. Passing the speakers, playing the audible disgust of his peers, he enters the bathroom and sits down, leaving the stall door wide open, because he's got nothing to hide. On the way home, he decides to pick up some groceries. Rather than waiting for the pesky line to process, he simply leaves a printout of his credit card information at the counter. Returning to his glass house, delighted by the still open door, Richard takes pride in another day done right as he prepares to unwind. He adjusts his camera, watching a nearby computer, making sure the framing is just right for his nightly broadcast. He starts the live stream and tweets that it's live, then sits down on the couch. "Backdoor sluts 9, the television exclaims. A capstone of another day in the life of the judge. Judge Richard masturbates furiously and falls asleep for all to see, because he's got nothing to hide." That concludes a day in the life of Judge Richard. A short story by Mike Seaman.
Our nation takes stopping terrorism as one of the most important things.
Freedom!
Exactly. And with that, when you think about it, how do we do that? Because we stand for freedom.
Bullshit!
Not that. But I think what you're saying is that in these cases, what's the decision? Where's the discussion? And what tools should we have to stop those?
No, I'm saying I don't trust you.
You lied to Congress. Why would we believe you're not lying to us right now?
I haven't lied to Congress.
Escape out of here?
Yes.
There it is. Hey, FBI, fuck you. So I take great pleasure in being able to say that this couldn't have happened without Laura. But if you look here, you see SIGAD, US 984XN. That's PRISM. And this is your dossier for PRISM.
Yeah.
And if you're wondering about
Free software is the first battle in the liberation of cyberspace. Who controls your computer? Is it you? Or is it some big company that's really controlling it? Well, what is a computer? A computer is a universal machine. It will do any computation you want it to because you give it a program that says what the computation is that you want. So the computer only knows how to get out an instruction and do it, and get out another instruction and do it. The program has the instructions. It says what to do. So by writing the right program, you can make it do anything. Well, almost anything. So who gives the instructions to your computer? You might think it's obeying your instructions when really it's obeying somebody else first, and you, only as much as that company wants it to, will let it listen to you. With software, there are two possibilities. Either the users control the program or the program controls the users. It's inevitably one or the other.
As far as people and machines are concerned, it was Ludwig von Bertalanffy, I think, who said in his book General Systems Theory, he said, people are not machines, but in every opportunity where they are allowed to behave like machines, they will so behave. In other words, we tend to fall into the well of habit. Though the glory of our humanness is our spontaneous creativity, we too, as creatures of physics and chemistry, of memory and hope, tend to fall into repetitious patterns. And these repetitious patterns are the death of creativity. They diminish our humanness. They diminish our individuality, make each of us somehow like cogs in some larger system. And we associate this cog-like membership in larger soulless systems with the machines that we inherit from the age of the internal combustion engine, the age of the jet engine. You know, Marshall McLuhan said we navigate our way into the future like someone driving who uses only the rear view mirror to tell them where they're going. It's not a very successful strategy for navigating into the future.
I guess it's possible that you came here for the news. There's the news. It's the biggest hacker conference of the year going on right now. We're just ended day 3, going into day 4. All the secure methods of communication that I'm used to / thought were like solid enough for work are not secure. There are upwards of 2 gigawatts, and I have no idea about energy, volume of storage, like capacity types knowledge, but there's a lot of exposed fucking dams and solar panels and shit all over the internet where anybody could just fucking throw a bad user agent string, redirect a pointer at an admin panel, and all of a sudden receive insane access. I mean, like this whole episode really frustrates me. I mean, Steve and I have tried to record it like probably 2 times. And like earnestly, and by the times like the quality of recording was shit one way or another, but there's like been some pretty serious stuff that's happened, I guess, in this realm since I talked with Tom Secker, and since we've kind of been building on this topic of just kind of like security or insecurity or however you want to describe it. And I think Stallman fucking lays it together really nicely. I think McKenna just brings it into the weird world. I think that like Applebaum, as always, drops fucking bombshells, and I think that there's like some very core ideas, and there's like some very strange double-edged type swords that are involved here, and I think that there's like places for movement, but as far as which direction is the proper direction, that's actually a very difficult question, and that's kind of, I guess, all I have to say at this point. I don't have a good answer for most of these questions. Like Stallman brings into point like fucking compelled upgrades from different software vendors and who's the ownership of the software, and like Apple, Sony, Microsoft, all of these companies have done this thing multiple times as far as that, like whether installing a universal backdoor or just kind of allowing duplication of privately authored fucking independent media, like or diffusing your computer's power to basically do work with a file you have. You're basically like delegating the act of perspective to that company, and it's like very it gets really weird really quick when you actually start thinking about it on a philosophical level. But then again, Stallman runs up against these other walls where it's like he's all about free software, but he thinks it's libre, not gratis. You know what I mean? It's free as in free speech, not free as in free beer, and that's kind of like, that's the old way to say it. I like the newer way better, but as far as the news, we get it, same old shit. There is a blade there, and I think that he actually is very clever in having created it back in the late fucking 80s, as far as like your software can be free software, but it costs money. But you also, to be free software, have to give out the source code, because anybody else can look at that source code and find another way to interpret it and basically program it very slightly differently to a... I mean, what are the gradations of indistinguishable? I mean, there's a lot of shades. So it's a sticky subject. But what Stallman gets at is it's a good thing in that sense, because you can clone and fork and do the other things slightly better, but like in a clever new way, and you deserve to make money on that. That's kind of where he's coming from, and that's actually a very important point. But it's also the double-edged thing also, I think, kind of comes in terms of like privacy in many ways too, as far as privacy versus surveillance and security and privacy and just whatever other words are kind of in that realm. Like, if we take to heart the concept that our emails, our texts, our posts, our comments on our websites, everything is a independently authored creative work, for someone to copy that, I mean, we can use that the piracy logic of the MPAA and the RIAA against themselves, and that's a very strange double-edged sword also, as far as, do you want to do that? What are the benefits? I don't think it's as clean as Stallman's fucking double-edged sword.
When we think clearly, we are intelligible to machines. People who write code know this, that the essence of making yourself clear to a machine is to think clearly yourself.
Choke him off. I feel his jacket. Why?
Because you're so close to me.
I would expect nothing less.
Yeah, that's it. No, I'll hold it. And I'll hold it over here so you don't have to yell at me.
Nice. So how was your trip, dude? Where the fuck did you go? I know nothing about what your last fucking 2 months have been.
It was horrible. We went to Frankfort, Indiana, and
He had so much fun. Shut up.
Forsyth,
Don't even
Illinois.
listen to any of this.
Dude, it was the worst trip I've ever. There, literally, Applebee's was the best restaurant we went to.
The fresh aisle. He's moving his picture of himself on the phone because it was blocking one of our faces.
Ah, I thought he was trying to touch us.
No. So what was your question?
How was your trip and where did you go?
It was god awful. So we went to, like I said, Forsyth, Illinois, and Frankfort, Indiana, both of which suck, in my opinion. Nothing was going right. They gave us like 5-foot 1 helix anchors. We ended up using like double helix 15-foot anchors, so we had to wait for them to get delivered. And then we got the wrong parts. I don't really want to talk about it, to be honest. It sucked. Everything about it sucked.
Did you meet any crazy people? Were there any fun bar experiences? Did some like?
I met Cassie the bartender. Cassie the bartender has 2 kids from 2 different fathers and is dating a Mexican man who has no job and hasn't had paid rent in 5 years. So this is the kind of town that if you were raising 5 kids in like a 2-bedroom trailer home, you were like living it up, dude. Like living large. Like you had it made. It's like, oh, you had 2 rooms? God damn. It was ridiculous. Everybody just talking about fighting. Like it was just a lot of like.
Where are these people?
They're in Pennsylvania. They're in my home. They're at my. This is the house. Like, yeah, this is the house. So yeah.
Hello, yeah.
Cassie was an interesting character. It was, dude. I mean, I might even have a video somewhere, but it was fucking gross, dude. It was so bad. But one funny part of the trip was we went to a dump with a ton of shit in the trailer. But for some reason, there was only one person allowed out, so like 3 of us sat in the truck drinking a beer, while the other dude was like in the middle of a dump, smelled like shit, just like throwing like 100-pound boxes out of the fucking back of the truck. It was great.
I'm glad you did not encounter any like dope dealing pizza sellers or something this time.
No. That was pretty. Dude, one good story. Stop it. One good story was fucking. We were leaving. It was the night after. So we were leaving. The night we were leaving, we got wasted just because we had to do something before we left. And the next morning, we woke up and we were all hungover. And one of the dudes we were working with is like, we call him Silverback or Uncle Michael. He's only like 35, but he's just like a gray bearded dude that works with us. And he's like, when you're an old Silverback, you kind of got to milk the hangovers. So he starts opening beers at like 9 in the morning. I'm like, dude, you know I'm in. And we still have to drive back to Denver at this point. We're like, fuck it, dude. This is happening. We pull up. We find this dude in like the back of an AT&T store. Looked real beat up. But we're just like, hey, man, you know where we can get like breakfast and the Bloody Mary? And it's like, breakfast and the Bloody Mary? It's like, well, Cheddar's might be open. And it's like, Cheddar's might be open. We're like, all right. We like pull up. We're banging on the window. It's like, we don't open until 10. We're like, it's 9 minutes. Come on. Just bang. Dude, it was the funniest shit I've ever seen. Like, the town is just like, these kids are fucking alcoholics, man. Like, but they're wasted by 6 p.m. every night. There's nothing else to do, man. I understand why, like, I think happiness and alcoholism is a very fine line in like country or states like Indiana and Illinois. Like, no, you're an alcoholic. You're not that happy. You're like, fuck, I get that. Like, you know, like, dude, it was just, oh my god, Kid Rock was the only thing being played on the jukebox. You know what I mean? Like, it was so bad, dude. It was the worst fucking town in the world. Don't ever go there. That's the moral of the story. Don't go to Frankfort, Indiana, ever in your life.
Oh God.
So, are you happy to be back in Colorado?
Oh, dude, the second I got back, it was blizzarding. I was fucking in love. I'm so happy to be back, dude. I'm so happy. Oh, wait, before I leave you, I didn't tell you about Daryl. We had a field dog. In Indiana, one dude we work with, everyone's either Daryl or Larry. That's like the only two names you are. Like everyone's either Daryl or Larry. And one day we're sitting in the field building a tower, and this fucking cool ass golden retriever runs from like one of the junkyard houses and just runs up and didn't leave us for the whole day. The next 3 days we worked there, he was there from like the second we got there to the second we left. He would like run alongside of the pickup truck. Like, dude, he was the coolest dog in the world, and we named him Deputy Daryl Dog. Tons of pictures of him, but his name is Daryl. And then we asked the owner, we're like, what's his name? And he's like, he doesn't have a name. You can call him whatever you want. I was like, dude, owner didn't even know you? Like, owned you? So I went to him on the last day, and I tried to ask the owner if I could buy Daryl.
Pause. What? Dog does not have a name. You can call him anything. And he or he just respond to anything.
No, you just say dog, Daryl, hey, anything. Anything, dude. We named him Daryl. And Daryl, it was such a suiting name. He loved Daryl. He's fucking Daryl Dog, man. Coolest dog. He lived in the fucking 2 pigs, another dog, and a junkyard house, dude.
What the fuck?
Daryl, Deputy Daryl Dog. He was so cool.
Oh,
the shit you get yourself into is absurd.
Yeah, man. But I tried to buy him for $100, and he was like, "Nah, man, I love that dog." I'm like, "You didn't even fucking name him. Like, who the fuck do you think you are?"
Okay, so Daryl Dog led into what?
Daryl Dog just joined us on the field, dude. He was a field dog. We put him in like, fucking high-vis suits and hard hats and shit. He was one of the boys.
Wait, you put a hard hat on the dog?
Yeah.
To save him from the 9,000-pound tower.
Yeah, he was construction leader. Daryl Dog. I'm not gonna let him get hurt.
there you go.
How does a hard hat even help in that situation?
He's a dog, Mike. I don't know. Gotta ask him.
Wear hard hats?
We have to wear hard hats.
You have to wear hard hats.
Yeah. And it's not really for, like, anything's gonna fall on us or hurt us. I think it's more for...
If the tower falls down and falls on you,
we're dead.
Hard hat help.
Probably not. But if, like, a wrench falls on you...
Okay, so hard hats. All right, anyway, so Daryl the dog, hard hats. You put hard hats on the dog.
Yeah.
You have so it's regulation that makes the dog wear hard hats.
It's the man. Happy holidays.
Aboriginal, Aborigine. Aboriginal, Aboriginally. Originally, Aborigines. They did deceive for a reason to leave. Nobody believe of what he's seen. Out of the corner comes Charlie's scene. Originally, division sent Martin's dream to make Apocalypse Redux 3. Aboriginal, Aborigines. We rise, we rise, we rise. 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 Angelina Jolie originally adopted the Aborigines. Not to be mean, but you know what I mean. That the Aboriginals are buy one, get one free. They're buy one, get one free. They're buy one, get one free. They're buy one, get one. They're buy one, get one free. They're buy one, get one. They're buy one, get one free. The thoughtlessly unoriginal Aborigines, origin originally Chinese. You see, won't you please be original, Steve? For the unoriginal Aboriginally. Do you believe that Patrick Swayze was Aborigines. As much as it means, you should have seen the unoriginal Aboriginally Swayze. He left that rock, yappa dabba doo dabba digitally. So dot the I's and cross the T's, and maybe you'll see we're all Aborigines. Do you believe Angelina Jolie? Do you believe Patrick Swayze? Crocodile Dundee was Aborigines. Aborigine. We rise, we rise, we rise. Aboriginally. We rise, we rise, we rise. Aborigines. We rise, we rise, we rise. Aboriginal.